Hey, welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for checking out this video. Hope you're having a fantastic day. As always, we need to talk a little bit about our old friend, Renee Montgomery, owner of the Atlanta Dream. Tiny, 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 tiny owner of the Atlanta Dream. Um, for those of you that don't know, because I realize no one is watching, but she is actually one of the, I guess, hosts, maybe if you want to call it that, pregame, halftime, postgame analyst in the studio for Unrivaled, which is kind of wild. When I first saw that, almost did a video on it then because it seemed kind of like a slap to the face of the new fans, as if it was very purposeful because there's no reason otherwise for her to have that gig. So I wanted to talk about this a little bit because this is kind of funny. I mean, there is a deeper point, but it's it's kind of funny as well because of something that just happened with an interview that she did. So, just a quick reminder, I'm going to play about 4 seconds here for those of you that don't remember this video I did about her when she went on a rant about the Caitlin Clark fans, and we have this one important short clip here.
That ain't a representation of us. Y'all not like us. They not like us. Okay.
Y'all not like us. She's talking specifically to the Caitlin Clark fans. Go check out that video if you haven't seen it and want to see the whole thing. It's actually one of my more popular videos. Or as you can see, the clip of her is 3 minutes long, and we kind of broke it down and talked about each of the things that she talked about in that. So, an owner trashes the fans and then gets a job talking to the fans with Unrivaled. So, yeah, trash the fans who are making your league more popular. Tell them they don't belong, that they are not like us. You're not like us. And then you get a broadcasting gig where your job is to talk to those fans. And then, of course, the third step in the how to lose your job in basketball, make a ridiculously awkward on-air blunder that just reminds everyone, how did she get this job again? How did she get this job again? So as we know, and I just pointed out, Renee has not been a fan of all the new viewers tuning in for sure. She's made that very clear. She talked about, blame the when reinforced that nonsense about Angels saying Caitlin Clark fans are, sending her nude AI images. And of course I covered all that long before AI. People were doing that using Photoshop with all their favorite celebrities. You can go find that stuff if you want. And let's also not forget the mold that Angel Reese made and posted on her own IG account. But hey, here's the tip. If you own a team, maybe, I mean, maybe, just maybe, don't insult the people paying to watch. Imagine if McDonald's started yelling at people for buying too many Big Macs. These new customers, they don't even appreciate our secret sauce. Like, what? What are we talking about here? Imagine being a salesperson, and every time you have a sales call with a potential customer, you insult them while expecting their business because you deserve it. And then after all that, somehow lands a job, like I just mentioned, with Unrivaled, talking to the fans. I talked to a number of people. They were not thrilled. They thought this was potentially something done purposefully by Unrivaled. I mean, look, if a chef burns your steak, you're not getting they're not getting hired to judge Top Chef. Does it make sense? Make it make sense for me. We're all asking the same question. Are you telling me there were not way more talented and qualified people for this job? How did she get this job? It certainly wasn't being qualified. Now I got another clip coming up was kind of the basis for this, kind of the what got me to make this video and talk about Renee a little bit. The interview blunder, folks, where you've done it all. Absolutely wild. So I have this, if I can find it. I think this is the one. Yeah, she's talking to Paige Bueckers. Now let's listen in to Renee Montgomery's deeply insightful question for Paige.
It's like you've been trained well, Paige. Okay, so listen, you were the first freshman to win the Nancy Lieberman Award, period, ever. Shocking, not shocking if people don't know, but now you're back at it again, senior year, you're a top 10. Can you just talk about, like, is there anything left that you feel like you need to do in college before you go? You're at the top of a lot of standings. You've reached 2K points, the fastest in UConn history, passing Maya, everyone in 102 games. Like, is there anything left that you really, really want to accomplish?
Okay, before we get to that, and if you haven't caught the blunder yet, which Paige will get to in a second, it's really, really poorly stated. It's meandering. It doesn't finish thoughts. I don't know what the top 10 part was about. Some of this stuff, I'm trying to follow what Renee is asking because she never completes a thought in this question, which finally gets to Paige. What have you accomplished? Pay attention to Paige's facial expression on this as well.
I think everybody knows the answer to that. Definitely want to get a natty. That's really what you come to UConn for, to be able to play in those games, get to the Final Four, see yourself with that opportunity to win a national championship. I mean, yeah, that's really the main goal.
So I think Paige handled that extremely well, but you could see in her facial expression, like, what is going on? Is this a that's just another example. A lot of people now saying, why is she there? This is how she's been all the time with Unrivaled. She's made it clear that she hates the fans. Why does she have this job? Hey, if you know why Renee Montgomery has this job for which she is clearly not qualified, let me know below. Renee lists all these accomplishments and then asks if there's anything left to do because she's done it all. And yet, all the talk about Paige Bueckers, even Gino went after her. It was kind of a passive aggressive insult to Paige about how, well, you have to come back because you'll be the only UConn star that hasn't won a national championship. And Renee Montgomery, and look, man, we all mess up, right? Okay, so let's be clear, people. Oh, you're hating on Renee. No, but this is pretty huge. I mean, it's like the elephant in the room with Paige that everyone knows about. I just don't get it, and her facial expression, it really does say it all. It's like, you know that look when someone asks a terrible question or, that question that everyone knows you shouldn't ask in polite company or whatever it is, and then you're trying to be very polite with your reaction and your response? That's Paige to me. It's the same face you make when someone asks, "Hey, you want pineapple on your pizza?" And you're like, I mean, I guess that's a question, but why? Why are you asking me this? Oh, but I love hey, props to Paige. I love how Paige handled this. Good for her. It was grace under fire. I thought she handled it really well. But look, obviously, I'm kind of making this in jest and having a little fun with it. But there is a little bit of a deeper point as to why it matters. It just proves that the fans have a point about all this. This constant trashing of the new audience. It was a terrible move by the entire league. It was terrible what Renee said specifically about this rant about how they're not like us. And then you give her this job talking to these fans that you desperately want, that, by the way, tune in less and less each week as Unrivaled goes by and they see what a crash train wreck that the quality of play is. Why does she have this job? We're seeing exactly why she was not the right choice. I mean, look, at the end of it all, if you're going to have a voice in the game, if you're going to be an owner in this league, you say you want to grow. You have got to respect the people who love it. You've got to respect the people who are growing it because without them, there is no game. And that just brings me back to the NBA. If the NBA would just pull the damn money, make the WNBA stand on its own, make them say, look, you're going to have to turn a profit or you are going to fold like many other professional sports leagues have done, this never changes because they've never been in the situation where they have to be likable. They have to make good business decisions. They have to improve the product on the court. They've never had to do any of that. But again, without the fans, there is no game. Seriously, you might as well be yelling into an empty arena. And let's be honest, nobody wants the WNBA to be that again, right? Or I'm trying to put it in a polite way, but that's what they've basically been doing for almost 30 years. Renee Montgomery, again, you're not like us. She doesn't want you, but she's going to move games from her little rinky-dink 4,200, 5,000 seat arena to an 18,000 seat arena when the Indiana Fever, like Caitlin Clark, and the title taking, I already said Indiana Fever, but I'm going to repeat myself, title taking Indiana Fever roll into town. She's happy to do that and take your money. Happy to do that and take your money. But, I just thought that question was wild because it's just even leaving out the national championship thing, it's just this meandering she never finishes the thought. I don't know what she was referring to in multiple times, but what do y'all think about this? I mean, hey, did the fans get it right about Renee? Obviously, I think they do. But hey, you might think I'm being too harsh on her, but I had to have a little fun with this. But also, again, it speaks to a deeper point of the issues the WNBA has and how they're handling the new fans. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Always, always appreciate you taking the time. Don't forget, click, smash, tap that like button, subscribe to the channel. It really does help. And I will talk to you later.